let's. I'm gonna go on a little rant mode now here. So just be prepared. And ironically, I'm going to be yelling at Samsung of all companies. And this has been a while, so let's go ahead and do this. Samsung is killing people. So literally, they are now begging people to stop buying the Note 7 because it's literally killing people. Dear God. Oh, by the way, quick folks, those of you on the live stream, I will do a Q&A after I talk about Samsung here. So just give me a minute. I'll go ahead and cue you guys in for the questions. But Samsung. So for those of you who actually watched my video about the initial explosion video, so I talked about how they made a huge mistake and they're trying to rectify the situation. And so they did an optional, they did an optional recall for people starting the next week that they can go and exchange their phones. Now it's become, please bring back your phones because it's literally now blowing up. A lot more evidence is appearing. There were my Ninter just told me that 2 cars blew up. They caught on fire because of this phone. And so, yeah, Samsung dropped the ball on this. And this is where I'm worrying about the company. It's because they are a huge company as well. Because they don't just do small, consumer electronics. Excuse me. The company also makes heavy industries. They do finances. They do freaking mortgages in Korea. They have credit cards. They have cars. They actually make cars. I was there. I saw the Samsung cars in Korea. They do so much other things. That company that is Korea. Samsung is Korea. I'll put it that way. Yeah, you can laugh at it, but Samsung is Korea. But the thing is that I believe the company is starting to run into the same situation as Apple, but at the same time, in a bad way. They're now trying to, they're seeing this growth, but now they want to make more money because this is what happens when you fight for shareholders. You're focusing on money instead of you start off with quality and then you're making a certain amount, but now you want more, so you start shifting the quality over. And this is where I think a lot of people called me out on my last video. No, I don't know if they cut corners, but I'm gonna pretty sure hell is tell you that if they've been developing this technology, they've been making phones and super semiconductors for over 20 years. They make chipsets for tactical missiles for the U.S. military. So are you telling me that they don't have a rigorous quality check system for their products? That somebody down the line would have discovered, hey, these ports shouldn't be touching, and that it would explode. Are you telling me the company that makes the chip processors for freaking Apple wouldn't take the same time to make sure that their own products are fine? And this is where I believe they started cutting corners, and I'm very, very disappointed with the company. I think the company has become complacent because they started showing signs of, hey, we're going to take it back on the new device thing. Not quite as bad as Apple has, but it's just like, hey, with the phones, we're just going to take a backseat, make some improvements, and here's the next one for you. Are you really listening to the customers? With the Gear S, they didn't market the Gear S very well. They didn't market any of the Gears very well. They had one Super Bowl ad and they were done with it. I haven't seen any commercials for the Gear S, the Gear watches at all ever since then. Hell, I think I've sold more Gear S watches than Samsung's marketing rep has. Well, I mean, I know that's a bold statement, but I think I sold a lot more than Samsung reps have at Best Buy stores. It's sad. Why am I a YouTuber? I am not endorsed by them, by the way. How is it that I sold more of your devices for you than your paid representatives at these kiosk stores? But either way, that's digressing from the topic that I started off on. The company is starting to cut corners, I believe. Because if they hadn't cut corners, if this was going to be their flagship device, then they should have done rigorous testings with the prototype models. They should have they should have put it in hands of people to put it through its paces, to make to look for any problems. Because I'm pretty sure if they did that, which I think they've done in the past, this issue wouldn't have arisen. Why is it that now 6+ years of these smartphones being out, we're now having problems of the batteries. You wouldn't think that there were cases last year of phones overheating and literally burning a pillow and like frying the computer chipsets. You think out of all these years of seeing those problems, that wouldn't be priority number one? The company needs to wake up. If they won, they're not the number one yet. They're not. Apple still holds that position. But they are slowly doing some awesome things in the pipeline. Modular TVs, VR. They're still going strong with the Gear VR. I actually just finally played with it. I saw the Note 4 in the Innovator editions, but the OS is the operating system and the interface is still the same. And I'm impressed with the improvements that they've made. I really am. The smartwatches, yes, I am not a fan of the Gear S3, and I will not be getting it, but I will not sit here and tell you not to. It's a great smartwatch. It's everything about the Gear S2 that I hated, aside from the quality. I mean, no, not the quality, the design. Everything else about it, I love the improvements that they made. If it wasn't for the design, I would get it. But I know a lot of you don't care about that, and you actually like that class of look, so go get it. They're making such strides everywhere else, and I feel like this is going to be an Achilles. This is bad. This is really bad for them, and it's just more like, you know what, guys, just wake up. You are not the best company out there in the world to begin cutting corners, to begin cutting costs, to using third-rate manufacturers. You know, if you're sitting there and saying, well, you know what, we can save $50 million by not doing this standard check, or doing one round of doing a round of shipment from this company, then testing those devices rigorously, make sure there's no problems, then mass producing it and sending it out. So are you telling me, once again, I'm just giving you guys just quick numbers. This is not the right number, so don't call me out on it. But you're telling me trying to save $50 million for profits was better than you risking it, and now you have to recall over 2 million Note 7s and replace them with those customers. And by the way, so in order you are going to lose a lot of customers because of this. You are going to lose a lot of customers. But to even retain the ones that you want to keep, you have to replace another phone. So there goes another almost $1,000 down the drain in potential sales that you lost. And then on top of that, you have to they're choosing to compensate people on their phone bills and stuff. And the thing is, I think that's nice. The fact that they're willing to do that, it's like, all right, that's awesome. They're willing to at least give me a newer phone and help me with my phone bill at least the 1 month for the inconvenience. That's fine. But for a lot of people, the damage is done. Even a $20, $50 bill credit is not enough for that. Because unfortunately, the current market, we've become so dependent on these devices that even me, you know, I'm a business owner. All my business marketing is through social media, and I live through this device. A lot of people can't live without it. And the fact that you're telling people now they can't use the device for over a week, they have to go find an alternative, they're going to become, you know, I honestly, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, this might be good for a lot of people who are really like phone whores. You know, it gives them like a week break from, you know, using the phone. They get unplugged and like enjoy the world, enjoy nature. Oh my gosh, there's trees. Yes, trees exist, folks. I can throw a ball instead of throwing a ball in a real game. If you want to throw a Pokeball, throw a Pokeball. You know, it's just. I'm sorry. I don't know where I got that from. But once again I digress. Once again, I digress. But folks, it's just. But this won't deny the fact that the company screwed up, and I'm really upset with them. I'm personally the fact that I might not even pick up the Note 7. I was really hoping to. My friend got it. He came visit. I saw it. Oh my gosh, I thought it was damn sexy. I can get the new Gear VR and really experience the VR, and have I was just so ready for it, and now I'm reconsidering. And in the next 2 months, I am going to be shopping around. And for those of you who have been asking, so what are you going to get? You're going to see my research. So I'm going to be talking about every phone individually. So the new LG, new HTC, new Motorola, the new Nexus phone, the new Sony Xperia. Yes, even Sony's Xperia I'm going to take a look at. I'm going to talk about each one. And then I'll ultimately choose one from there. So Samsung is not officially on the plate anymore. Yes, I want to do VR. I want to do it like crazy. And that's one of the reasons. By the way, you guys can talk normally. This mic is directly connected to me, so yeah, you're fine. Yeah, but the fact that like I'm not even considering buying Samsung now, but they're not completely off the table because aside from the battery issue, folks, that phone's a freaking beast. It is. I can't wait to dump it in water if I ever do get my hands on one, like I did with my Gear S. And for those of you who are wondering, where's your Gear S? It's been acting up. And before you go bashing on the Gear S, the first model from 2 years ago, I've owned it for 2 years now. I've treated that thing like crap. I have put it through its paces. They know it. I demo the versatility of that device by throwing it in my store. And they are proof of it. Yes. But obviously, I've treated it like crap for so long that I think it's finally kicked bucket. So the screen is being... It still works for notifications. So the screen's like on and off, but at least the notifications work. So I know at least I'm not going to miss phone calls. But Samsung, like... Samsung, if you're actually watching this video segment, please wake up. Let's not... I'm going to give him a second chance. Like, obviously I will. You know, it's like, well, you know, that's so hypocritical. Why didn't you do that with Apple? I did give him second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances. In terms of them, I gave them a chance to, you know, really show me that they're in it for the consumers. And with Samsung, they're going to pay for this. Trust me. I don't need to sit here. We don't need to sit here and tear them apart. They're going to be head deep in the deep zone, in the freaking Mariana Trench deep of lawsuits, court fees, all this stuff to resolve all this. This is going to be a very harsh lesson for the company. But this is where they're either going to have to freakishly wow us next year and overly exaggerate the safety of their phones, or they may choose to forget it overall. Thank you for the water. I actually got thirsty again. This is where they're going to have to put up or shut up. Period. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'll be talking about the new Gear VR, the Gear 360, and all that stuff later on. But this is going to be a huge wake up for them. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for my Note 7 stuff, guys. Like, it wasn't as much of a rant as I thought it'd be, but it's just I'm very disappointed with them. I really am. It's just, you know, but we'll just see. You know, I won't forget this, but I am personally going to be much more critical, and so should you. Don't blindly follow this company either, because Samsung has started to show signs of complacency. So, if anything, in their upcoming products next year and stuff, be more critical of them. Make sure they're covering they're dotting their I's and crossing their T's. Make sure they're doing that. Because if they don't do it next year, we all should move on to another company.